That's your cue. What's up, guys? Ray B, sport performance, corrective exercise, and movement coach, back again for the Knicks wall. I know it's been a bit, but we're back in the lab in light of Obi Toppin's recent knee injury that was diagnosed as a right fibular head fracture. Let's get into it. Now, although I do not have a medical degree, I do have props.
What can you do? Medicine's not a science.
So with these props, I can show you that the fibula runs on the outside of the leg next to the tibia, and it's responsible mostly for attaching muscles to it. Now, secondarily, it makes it so that your ankle is stable and functionable, something that every basketball player needs. So your fibula, that thin bone that runs on the outside of your leg, is the issue here. Specifically, which was reported, was the fibular head, this top part right here. Now, the fibula is not a weight-bearing bone. That would be the tibia, the one that sits next to the fibula. So the fibula being affected is an issue. So there's really two major ways that the fibula can be affected like this and fractured. One of which is just a nice traumatic force to the outside of the leg. The second would be a rotary action that would cause the knee or the ankle to move without alignment, and then you're going to see a problem up here. So if you picture moving your foot and then your knee can't move, or moving your knee and your foot can't move. Now, the reason that you're going to suffer a fibular issue with that rotary is because the fibula with the tibia, it is a really important piece of transferring force throughout the leg along with the tibia while you're walking, running, or jumping. The fibula along with the tibia is going to be responsible for sending that stress through. And even if you had a small issue in this area, the constant jumping and the constant landing likely over time could have been what made it fracture ultimately. So a non-displaced fracture means that there is in fact a break, however it's in place, it's not displaced, so it's where it needs to be. If it was displaced, it would likely require surgery and he'd be done for almost the full season, certainly. Another issue that could have arisen in this case is a LCL problem, because your fibula and your LCL are very close. Your lateral cruciate ligament. Your ACL isn't affected, that's in here. Your MCL isn't affected. Your PCL is not affected. But if you tear your LCL, you're done for the year. We might not have, if that was the case, we might not have seen Obi until, hey, maybe even late summer. His offseason work would be massively affected. So a non-displaced fracture of the fibula head, I'll wipe my brow and say, get reevaluated 2 or 3 weeks, and we probably won't have to wait too much longer to see you after that. So when your fibula gets fractured, especially at the top here, it is almost 100% going to result in you having to go into a cast or some type of boot, or really just any type of completely immobilization brace. Now, if Obi Toppin comes back too soon, the thing that I would be most concerned with is an ankle injury, because the fibula is very important in controlling the stability of the ankle. If the fibula is compromised and he's playing on it, his risk for lower body injury is going to skyrocket in the knee and in the ankle. Now, if the fibula is compromised, it is not going to be able to be as stable as it can be, because there's going to be the other part of the tibia at the top half not doing its job. So then the bottom half is going to have to pick up the slack. And picking up the slack of a bone that's not like working hand in hand, or in this case leg in leg, it's no good. However, for me personally, I'm not too worried about the props. For me personally, I'm not too worried about Obi Toppin coming back and suffering a setback. Because if you remember last year's video, we talked about Obi Toppin's alignment when he lands and it being fantastic. We can see Obi go up for a dunk and come down, knees, toes, all in line, hips are facing the same way. It's beautiful to watch for the fans. When you land out of alignment, issues will happen. If Obi Toppin landed ducked out like this, you can see out of alignment, problems can happen. When we make everything come straight and land cleanly, especially landing toe heel, you're going to be safe. Obi does that. Obi Toppin lands in great alignment, which begs the question, how did he get hurt in the first place? Well, there's a couple different ways that we can go. First and foremost, he is a professional basketball player who gets paid a lot of money to pretty much jump up and down. Small part of it, but a big part of it is the constant jumping. When you are jumping up and down as much as Obi Toppin does, from the height of which he is jumping, you are going to put micro tears, micro fractures into your bone constantly. Small, tiny tears, tiny breaks in the bone that happen over time. If you've seen Shawshank Redemption, Andy Dufresne was putting microfractures into the wall every day with a little hammer until he eventually made a huge hole. Same kind of principle. So, all of these things you cannot predict in sport. It's multifactorial. Someone puts their foot out and you got to avoid it. The floor's a little bit slippery. And again, landing from jumping 4 feet in the air constantly 10 times a night, every night for 6 months, is going to add to the probability that something could potentially go wrong, even with fantastic mechanics. If I could stop people from getting hurt altogether, you can bet your butt I would not be sitting here talking to you right now. I'd be drinking Mai Tais on a beach somewhere. By all indicators, the Knicks are being smart with this. Reevaluating him in 2 to 3 weeks is the greatest move to do. It gives him time to heal the correct way, and we probably not see him miss too much time after that. Fingers crossed is the hope. If the Knicks keep on doing exactly what they're doing with this, we should see Obi on the court hopefully within the next 8 weeks, but time will tell. Hopefully the next time I talk to you guys, it'll be under better circumstances and not talking about a non-displaced fracture and a fibula, but we'll see you then. Remember, guys, when you move better, you feel better. For the Knicks Wall, I'm Ray B. Thanks.